Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve G, and what we have this time is the Hatsukokoro Hikari SLD Gyuto 195mm knife. As stated, the steel in this is SLD semi-stainless steel, so it's not quite full stainless with the amount of chromium that's in there. It's not like a reactive carbon steel, but you still need to take care of it a little bit more attention than you would with a full stainless knife, but it will maybe patina and stain just a little bit as you use it, and that'll differentiate that from the stainless cladding. So you've got a soft stainless cladding on either side of that SLD semi-stainless core for a 3-layer construction. The weight and dimensions can vary a bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 134 grams or 4.7 ounces. Heat treats about 62 Rockwell on that SLD, so it should have some nice edge retention. It's an easy to sharpen steel, like a tool steel type. Use normally, but it makes a great kitchen knife steel as well. So I've got a few knives with this steel and it works quite well. The handle is octagonal. It might be ebony or rosewood depending on the batch they get. This particular one is ebony. Weight will vary a little bit. Ebony is a little bit heavier than rosewood, but both really nice woods. The edge on this is about 200 millimeters, so a little bit over 195 or 7.9 inches. And the overall length is about 338 millimeters or 13.3 inches from tip to the back of the handle. The spine, I got it's a fairly thin blade with a little bit of flex to it, but it's got a surprising amount of stiffness for how thick it is. I got about 1.85 millimeters at the back and about 1.75 millimeters in the middle. So overall, it's a pretty thin blade. Not a ton of taper, but it's thin already. But when you get to the tip, you can see it's pretty thin right at the tip where it counts. And it's also thin at the edge where it counts. There's your choil shot. Height, not particularly tall, but it's not a longer Gyuto, so about 42.7 millimeters at the back. They do have some curve here at the choil into the neck. There's not enough length there in this particular one to get your finger all the way in there, but there's some spots there, so you've got some clearance. If you got really big hands, you might have to check out what kind of clearance you got there for the cutting board, but for me, no problem. Let's get our beauty shot first. This has a fair amount of polish to it, so try not to get too many fingerprints on it. But you can see the polish there. We do have some etched kanji on the right side of the blade with SLD there to show you the steel. You can see a little curve there as it's pulled in towards the choil for some finish work. There's your cladding, and there's your core steel. It's a little hard to tell because you got some polish here, but there's your cladding line. And then here's the left side of the blade. Again, a fair amount of polish to it, but there's your cladding line right there. They've done a little bit of relief on the corners of the spine, so that's nicely done. A little bit of relief on the corners of the choil. That seems pretty comfortable. Out of the box edge, I'll give it 6 to 7 out of 10 on my scale, so pretty sharp out of the box. Fit and finish, I would say, is pretty nice here on this one. The handle, again, is octagonal. It'll either be rosewood or ebony. These are one-piece handles. This ebony handle is very nicely done. They've got a good seal job there where the tang goes into the handle. Balance point, that's pretty heavy wood, so this is not a long blade or particularly heavy. So my balance point is really kind of right in here. Right in there is your balance point. So from a pinch grip standpoint, it'll be a little handle heavy from a balance perspective. Let's look at the cutting board profile and see what our edge profile looks like. So, okay, this might not apply to every knife, but this is a representation of this maker. It's pretty curvy, so you'll see they've got quite a bit of belly on this, and it rolls all the way to the heel. There's not really a flat spot here. It's smooth, it just rolls all the way. So, we're not talking a lot of flat spot here. I can get way up there before the tip wants to dig in, so this will rock really nicely. Definitely a rocker. Tip draws, you'll have to raise the handle fairly high, but you can do it. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts, no problem. Chopping, not the strong suit of this, just because there's not really a consistent flat spot on it. But if you're looking for something unique with a really nice steel, again, not full stainless, but close, and nice fit and finish to it, something a little different from the usual stuff, with this thin blade should perform very nicely. This is the Hatsukokoro Hikari SLD Gyuto 195mm knife from Chef Knives To Go.